Welcome, everybody, to the Onward VR Master League. My name is NightFiree with two E's. I am joined by my co-caster, Anonymouse. Anonymouse, sorry. I had it. I got it second time.
Yep.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I am intrigued, I think, is the word for me today on this matchup. We got Supernatural, a team that has been around middle of the pack since Season 9, and a brand new squad, Ground Branch. Been playing well, and I feel like this is kind of going to be their first test up against some players that have, that sort of experience in the league. Supernatural's been around since Season 9, but they have players that have been around longer, right?
Yeah. Some of them have been playing since before Season 8. I think Deadshot's been around definitely for a while.
Yeah. So, an interesting test for Ground Branch, and I mean, you said it. The votes are interesting on the site, right? They're like, what?
Yeah, the connoisseur votes are, I think, 26 to 9. 26 voting for Ground Branch, 9 for Supernatural. So
a lot of, I don't know. Maybe they've garnered some sort of fan base. Already. I don't know what the situation is there, but it's interesting to see so many votes in favor of a new team to the league. I'm very interested to see how they play, especially with, obviously, our 1.8 meta, right? The no smokes allowed definitely changes up how teams play, and it's been really fun to watch, honestly.
My team had a game the other day, a scrim, and since there were no smokes, some teams have really figured out how to use the flashes very well, and we would be flashed constantly. So let's see if that's how either of these teams have figured out how to play since the smoke ban.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out, and I'm curious to sort of, see what sort of maps we get into, which I guess leads us into our bans. So, Anonymous, what do we have coming in for bans from both squads?
So for bans, we have Ground Branch banning Subway and Supernatural banning Quarantine. So Subway is a smaller map, and Quarantine is, I think, the largest map, maybe second largest. So.
Yeah, Downfall, I still think. I don't know about larger, but range, in terms of lanes, it definitely has the longest range available, and it's. I don't know. The map pool is limited these days. You have Tanker off of the playing field. You have Snow Peak off the playing field, and so it does limit ultimately what's even available to be played. So Quarantine, Subway are off the plate. So now we have Downfall, Cargo, Bazaar, and Suburbia still available. So it's actually heavily favored on the close range, right? Downfall being the sort of that lone long range map available.
Yeah, this map pool is definitely favoring shorter ranges. There are some medium ranges in there. You can get some medium range.
Yeah, Bazaar for sure.
Suburbia. Bazaar is definitely more medium range. Quarantine is a little bit of everything, but
right.
We won't be seeing that based on the Supernatural ban. So.
Yeah, and I'm probably banning that one out because of I don't know. There's all sorts of different reasons. It's been heavily changed since 1.8, and so maybe Supernatural just not feeling comfortable with all of the new sort of angles and approaches that are available. I mean, we've seen teams play it competitively, and it's wild, to be honest. I don't know what's going to happen every round because there's always I'm seeing something new nearly every time because these players are constantly innovating on strategies to counter others' potential strategies. It's really fun to be watching a sort of fresh map get chewed up by these league players, and it is unfortunate we won't see it, but there are changes on other maps that are definitely fun to talk about. It's like Suburbia having the hedges not being able to be seen through, all sorts of. Yeah, and again, no smokes just greatly affects how these maps gets played out. So I am very interested to see where exactly we'll be going. I guess I did just get our map 1 pick we don't have to theorize about that. That is going to be Downfall, so we are going to be going right away with that long range. And it is Supernatural's pick.
So, that's odd
I
that
know.
Supernatural would ban Quarantine, but then start out on Downfall. They might just not like all the new changes, as you were saying.
Yeah, Downfall is certainly one of the more unaltered maps. Although it does have some changes that are rather significant to certain routes, but yeah, curious to see how both of these squads shape up with that range. I want to see what kind of long-range shots we get, who are the snipers on each side, and is Deadshot going to be a dead shot? That's going to be the true question of the day. We are going to take a very brief intermission, and we will be right back with the first map of the series on Downfall. Do not go anywhere. VRML coming right back at you in a few moments. Welcome back. We are just moments away from Supernatural versus Ground Branch. And until we get into the action, I figured we could take a brief gander at the active rosters for today. Coming in from Supernatural, we have Deadshot, Satan, Ollie Brox, Epino, and Crowley. Bit of an unsavory name there. I'll have to be dodging that today. Over on Ground Branch, Ollie Hoden, JRN1, Little Sayonara, Melted T, and Legend X. I see a couple of the GB squad dropping the GB at the front. And you know what? I do appreciate that. As a caster, I wonder what you think, Anonymouse, but it's definitely when I'm doing flat, when I'm looking quickly, I oftentimes will end up pronouncing the initial of the team instead of the player name. I've requested that players put it at the end of their name instead. Have the GB put at with a at the end of your name instead, so then it's easier for just myself. But
yeah, the end of the name would definitely make it easier for casters, but some people have such long names that it could get cut off in the tent, and then it doesn't help that they have their team's initials in their name. So
yeah.
I can see both sides of
Yeah, I know.
where you would want to put your team initials.
Yep. I think the way we do it is how Ollie did it, but put the GB on the other side. You put the brackets around it, really separate it.
He's the only one that has the brackets around it. Some people like to do that. Some people like it no brackets.
Either way, it's a it's a bit of a side conversation that we're having here as we are patiently waiting for teams to dive in to round number 1. You can see here we have our first objective of the day going to be, I don't know, what do you call this, Obi? What's your name for this objective, Anonymouse? Do you have one? Does your team have one?
Yeah, this objective is upper dumpster building.
Okay. Reason being because there are dumpsters.
There's a dumpster, and it's the upper building.
Oh, really sophisticated callouts, but
Yes.
I'm on board with it. The simpler the better. You keep it true to what. I mean, you could have called it upper wall as well. There's all sorts of varieties into whatever you want to name this OBJ, but it's interesting, and one thought that I haven't really had here is that on these longer range maps, you got to take into consideration what headset everybody's using, right? Because if you're on the Quest, and I mean between the Quest and the Quest 2 in particular, a Quest 2 player may be able to see a bit longer in terms of the distance and the resolution being clearer. So you got to wonder if that's a factor at all in these map picks. Like if you can determine, I know that there's a lot of Quest players on a team. Let's make sure we get a long range map.
Yeah, the difference between the Quest version of the game and the PC VR version of the game is very different. I've played on the Quest version, and there's just some trees that cover a few windows that you just cannot see on the Quest. So there are some advantages to being on the Quest, and then some advantages of being on PC VR. So.
Ooh, Deadshot. Gonna use that long range 12 times optic with a sniper to get up on the three-story north hotel and take those shots. Excellent there. And I mean, that's the risk of, again, no smokes in this meta, right? Because usually you toss a smoke or two to sort of block your cross there and avoid exactly this angle that Deadshot has found. Very nice for him to pick that up, and I think the action is going to come down over onto the east of the map, just because you see all the lasers directed over here, and you see that the 3-man split, only Brox and Crowley making their way over here on the east, and there are defenders here with angles down into this ravine, so I'm interested to see if this position from Legend X comes to fruition.
Yeah, Legend is definitely in a good position to get these east guys, but if he continues to look out that window, it may not work. But there's a lot of lasers trained on him right now, so.
4?
I
think I killed him.
Wow!
There goes another Deadshot snipe right through the window.
That was a excellent long-range snipe from Deadshot to snag that kill through the window. Wow. This is what I was waiting to see. And coming in from Ground Branch, Oh no, we have the names. Oh yeah, excuse me. I'm confused. Coming in from Supernatural, they're into the 5v3. I don't know what happened there on my brain. I brain farted on the kill feed.
Yeah, so it looks like 2 of Ground Branch is in the objective building. Little Sayonara is next to Center Motel, which doesn't look like it's gonna work out very well for him. Just because all three of the Supernatural players are all pushing around the east. But
there is that 2-man split. You have Epino and Deadshot. Deadshot's dropped off of that hotel from sniping and is starting to rotate with Epino here, and they may end up running into Little Sayonara. That's the only saving grace of his position. But you're right, the real pressure is going to be coming in from this ravine. and from the east, and Melted T is in a very dangerous position. He can be easily scooped up here as soon as Ollie or Crawley rotate in from that ravine, so he needs to tuck himself back inside would be the best option.
Yeah, the Crowley and Ollie will definitely be able to see Melted T if he doesn't move.
Ooh.
There goes little Sayonara's position, as you were saying.
Apino peeking out, yeah, finds Melted T, a nice little shot there. Melted T super exposed, kind of you know, sitting, you know, out in front of the objective. You know, and again, the ideal position would have been to tuck inside to that objective room, because now they're gonna have to be concerned about that south ravine push, which is here. 1:20 left on the clock. And Supernatural are into the 4v2 advantage. And Little Sayonara doesn't have great coverage of objective. Neither does Oil, to be honest here. So Ollie and Airborne could sort of just sprint down here to OBJ after they confirm Melted T, because he could call out this information. And Little Sayonara with a huge pickup onto Ipino. Ollie going to put some shots downrange as well for confirming. But again, are they aware of the south? Because this is coming in right now.
Little Sayonara is rotating. Lots of kills. They take out all of the south push. Now it's just up to Deadshot against Ollie Howden and Little Sayonara. Oh no, Little Sayonara is downed. Ollie Howden is up and two of them are down. So Deadshot just has to make sure that
he's
none
getting
of the reses.
He's getting call-outs from those guys, and yeah, Deadshot is confirming those shots, but Ollie has information, or he should, at the very least. 20 seconds left now. Deadshot has to sprint in. Just has to tuck in. Melted T can call us out. He does it, and somehow Deadshot swings, finds the final kill with the sniper, and the MVP of the round with 5 kills after he confirms the final one gets himself and his team a round win.
Deadshot with the full squad wipe. Did steal a few downs, but it was definitely a good play by Supernatural, getting the 3-man push to the east, 2-man push to the west. It just didn't work out in the south as they hoped it would.
No.
They both got taken out.
It
Left
almost
themselves
did.
a little exposed.
It almost worked out. Yeah, and you know, their push in, and again, without smokes, it's challenging. You know, there's no way to block or deny vision, and so you essentially have to just go for it. Downfall is a totally different map without smokes. And what you saw there was them sort of just sprinting down the hill, and that's your option. You know, maybe if you have some flashes or nades, you can sort of toss out that utility, but even then, you might end up flashing yourself in this kind of an open map. So options are limited. We saw some missed shots coming out from the ravine there from Supernatural, letting Ground Branch sort of almost crawl themselves back into that one. And yeah, I don't know what else they could have done. They certainly did a good job of trying to come back there. We saw some good holds there from Little Sayonara picking up 3 kills on that corner spot, and we were questioning that too, so good on them. I want to see how they attack now as we hop into round 2.
We do have the same spawns. Ground Branch getting the North Hotel. Same as Supernatural got last time. So we will see if we have the same type of push or if they mix it up a little bit.
So looking like a bit more of an aggressive rotation out of Ground Branch over onto that west side of the map. Kind of a shift here, differing pattern and insides. Ground Branch out going to the west. We saw Supernatural favor that east side on their push.
Yeah, they are definitely going a little more aggressive. Nobody took up the sniping position in North Hotel. Ollie Howden is going far more east than Supernatural did. We'll see how that works out for him if he has enough time to rotate. Satan with the super long shot picks off Ollie Howden in the east, so that did not work out very well for Ollie.
Jeez, the eagle eye there.
Maybe one down, not quite sure. but only maybe.
And he doesn't even know it. You know, he's calling out me. I might have killed that guy. He can't even tell because all he saw was a sliver of a pixel and took shots at it. A little bit of retaliation fire from Apino. Misses the rotation from Little Sayonara. So now Little Sayonara inside the hotel 3-story in the center. Has some good angles, and Apino's going to rotate out. All sorts of lasers drawn in over to Apino's side right now. Obviously, if you are new to, just to quickly highlight before you get into this Anonymous, the lasers are not part of the game, just for your viewing pleasure.
The lasers are not part of the game. You cannot see people through walls.
Oh shit, I think I killed that teammate.
And there are no names hovering over people in the
Coming
actual
correct
game, so it's just all to make it easier to watch. We did just have a team kill come out. I don't know if you caught that, but Legend X did down Little Sayonara.
Yeah, Sayonara managing to get a forward position up into that building, and unfortunate for Legend to sort of just ruin that. The good thing is, though, is that he's not a full kill, so Legend can come in here, can get the res, bring his team back into the 4v5. And the East push stays strong. A nice shot from JRN1 over onto that Apino angle, and they knew he was there for so long, so good for JR to stay on that line of sight. Finally pick up that kill as soon as Apino looks to peek. A really long-range nade toss from Satan almost catches out JRN1, though. That was really close.
We are having some technical difficulties over with Legend rezzing Little Sayonara. Legend cannot see Little Sayonara's body, so that's going to make the res a little hard to do.
Nice swing there from JRN1, catches out Satan trying to frag in another team kill. Is that 2?
This time it's a full team kill. Legend X has not been able to res Little Sayonara, so he's basically dead by now. And we did get another full team kill. Deadshot with his expert sniping ability.
We were having team kills on all sides. Supernatural taking shots at each other as well. Deadshot getting fired on from Ollie. Crowley also has lasers drawn over here, so Deadshot at risk of being team killed, calling out to his team that he's over here. And
Legend just needs to run into the uplink as they're all trying to kill each other, and then you get the cap.
You got to utilize the suppression of your enemy.
Your enemy suppressing themselves. We do only have 1 up on Ground Branch, 3 left on Supernatural. Crowley sees Legend in Center Motel, and there comes the kill. Supernatural getting second point.
This is Supernatural's map pick, and they're certainly looking a little cleaner on it. Obviously, Ground Branch with the double team kill here. That is absolutely brutal to your push, especially when you kill your first lead and then you kill the guy that just got 2 kills up on the middle. It's it is rough to drop 2 like that, but you know, that's the you know, what a good team does. They are able to capitalize on mistakes, you know, and Supernatural, 2 team kills getting thrown into their favor, they ultimately take the round.
Supernatural definitely came back. It did look like they weren't going to take that right at the beginning there. Ground Branch was coming out with a little bit of a more aggressive push, and he got 2 kills, but then double team kills came out, and Supernatural brought it right back. So
solid few rounds from them. Deadshot really, again, finding another kill there, almost getting team killed, but piling up his KD 6-0 right now. So looking good for Supernatural. Now the full minute and a half getting taken here. Maybe Ground Branch trying to collect themselves after a rough round 2. We'll see what happens as they go on defense for Lower Dumpster in round 3.
This one isn't called
You
Lower
think so?
Dumpster. No, I'm just
Yeah, we
kidding.
can.
It's Lower Dumpster. Um,
What is it called? Dubster? Huh?
no, it's called Building Down from Sniper Tower. You've never heard that call out?
10 yards left. 14 paces up building.
Yeah, so we did get Supernatural getting the
Alright, so they will come up from the
northeast
marsh
spawn.
south.
It is a different spawn than last time, just one building over. They are going for almost the same push. Epino over in the north, Deadshot going for the snipe. 3 of them pushing east. So this does look like they're setting up for the same offensive push.
I mean, hey, it worked out well for him last time. Might as well replicate what's worked for you. Deadshot found all sorts of kills with this sniper, and I think he may be able to find a few more because he does have some good lines of sight down into these positions, and if Ground Branch aren't careful, Deadshot's definitely going to find those shots through windows. I do wonder, though, Ground Branch does seem to be pretty tucked, so I think this may be them adjusting to the sniper.
Yeah, it definitely looks as if they saw that Deadshot was a very deadly sniper, and now they've all tucked in a little bit more. We have 2 in Center Motel this time, which is
And the second floor.
a little different.
I really like this. They are all avoiding being able to be seen from a good chunk of the map. They're all cutting off vision from basically the top half of the map. That cuts off a lot of Deadshot's angles. The rest of their lines of sight are pretty focused over here onto the east. So they are somewhat ready for a move here. And now Satan taking shots is information. Little Sayonara looking for an angle here.
Satan is taking shots at a table through the window. There is no one in that window. JR, N1, and Little Sayonara do have a angle a few inches to Satan's right, or Satan's left. So if Satan moves at all, they will be able to get that pick on him.
Well, let's talk about the weak angles here. Melted T not watching the south, basically leaving it open for entry, and Ollie and Crowley are now in the ravine. They can come right down in from this backside of the OBJ, and they only have one defender in there, Ollie Hoden. It'll be Ollie versus Ollie. Oil versus Ollie, excuse me.
I think it is Ollie Odin and Ollie Bronx. I think it is both Ollie.
Legend finds Satan. Melted T scoops up one on the south, and now he knows where another one is. Takes the shots as he swings and gets himself a double here. Very nice pickup from Melted T. A clutch one at that, and Ground Branch looking great on this defense. They have adjusted nicely to Supernatural's offensive strategy, and it's now a 2v5. I mean, hey, I guess Deadshot killed the whole team last round, so what's to stop him this time, right?
Exactly.
Nice.
Melted T goes and gets Epino. Now it's a 1v5 on Deadshot. So Deadshot is gonna have a little bit of trouble crossing the center of the map. JR, N1, and Little Sayonara both in Center Motel.
Oh, and JRN1 just dropping the angle at the wrong time. Deadshot finds the kill. He's going to nade confirm JRN1. Little Sayonara swings on the corner and scoops him up. A nice play from him. And he's been doing great on that corner, honestly, to keep his team in this series.
There goes Ground Branch's first point of the series. As you were saying, Little Sayonara is definitely getting lots of kills from this angle. At the beginning, we were thinking that it wasn't going to work out very well for him, but definitely seems like he's been practicing this corner a lot, so.
Quick shout out to all the EU folks. I know I don't tend to get into the afternoon sessions, but here we are, and I am enjoying this. we actually are going to have a bit of a double header, too. We'll have a Radar Head and Theta hopping into a series in just about 30 minutes from now. So make sure to get those multi-streams prepped and ready to go, because you're going to want to watch, you know, both games at the same time, obviously. How else would you go on?
You can't not watch all of the VR Master League games at once.
Ridiculous, yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. No way you don't watch everything.
Maybe even just get all the games. Get some Echo Arena, Echo Combat.
There you go. When everything's firing on all cylinders, just have we'll have one channel that has 18 different VRML matches going at the same time.
You should just stream the multi-stream view so that
there you go.
you can just watch one stream.
We'll look into it, but right now we just got this one. We just got one stream, that's it. And it's all you need to worry about. It's Supernatural versus Ground Branch. Round number 4 underway. Supernatural on the defense, and Ground Branch with a similar spawn to Supernatural. Curious to see how they carry out their strategy.
Supernatural's defense is looking pretty similar to Ground Branch's. You can't get too crazy with this defense, but we are seeing only one person in Center Motel, and we are seeing 2 in Lower Dumpster Building, so.
I will say the defense does seem to be heavily favoring the East because of Crowley's position here. Excuse me, the West, because of how far Crowley is shifted over here. Sure, he can swing back to objective and has a decent angle on it, but the real weak point of this defense, I think, for Supernatural is the South. You know, if that East rotation comes in, they push down into the ravine, they could end up going in from the backside of that OBJ and capping inside the building. So the only real weak point I see here, Crowley may get a kill early from this position. No, he actually misses Sayonara. Rotates again at the worst possible time. And I mean, that is Onward in a nutshell, right? As soon as you drop the angle, you die from it.
It does look as though Ollie Hoden and Melted Tea are going to go up into the east. I don't know if they're going to go all the way south ravine, but they are in Marsoc Twins. Maybe they can get a little pick onto Ollie Bronx if he rotates out a bit.
Okay, let's get all of the O's sorted out right now. It's Ollie Howden on Ground Branch and Ollie Brox.
Or Ollie Brox.
There's no oil. I thought there was an oil somewhere. It's 2 Ollies.
Yes, one has 1 L and one has 2 L's, so.
Deadshot scooping up Sayonara over on the west, shutting down the first offender there. Legend X is next on the chopping block over on the west, but again, I just don't think that's going to be where they find success. It's going to come down to how well this east push comes out, and they are going to have to deal with Ollie Brox. Yeah, you're right. He has that similar angle that Ground Branch was taking, and he essentially has straight vision down into the ravine.
Yeah, his laser is trained on the ravine, so if they do go into the ravine, they will definitely have to look out for Ollie Brock.
Pino picking up JR N1. JR was pushing in through the center there from the east, and so it's the 2 now, Ollie Howden and Melted Tea over on the east. And you still have one on the west. You still have Legend over there. Not sure what he's trying to do. He has the 4 times, so maybe looking for a pick. If Satan gets a little a peeky out of that window there, he might be able to scoop up 1. Oh, and I think Satan
Legend
did cross.
Is a little far away at 1:40. Satan.
He must have heard you because he just checked his watch and sprinted.
Satan is tucking into that corner pretty well, so doesn't look as though Legend X would have been able to get that pick anyway.
Oh, I like this push. Ollie Howden's gonna come in from the second story. Brox is waiting for it on the corner. Holly Howden, the Ollie battle in favor of Howden. Hopefully not a team kill here coming in from Melted T. Almost team kills him. Jeez Louise, he called it out. One dead. And now he's dead.
Deadshot does get Melted T. No more team kills from Melted T gonna come out. Ollie Howden is now safe.
He only has to worry about the enemy in front of him now, which is going to be Deadshot on the 2-story. And he might be able to find the angle. He's got sort of a dead body here that's sprawled up precariously. I wonder if that's how Deadshot sees it too, because he could really use it for some cover.
It looks as though Ollie Howden did just see Deadshot. I definitely saw Deadshot's little body peek out of that window. Satan gets Legend X as he pushes up.
Yeah, now the crash comes in. 15 seconds left. Howden has to push this. Again, though, if he gets rid of Deadshot on the top, he can cap from the backside. Deadshot's down. He has to pad out inside here. It's going to be a 3-second cap if he does it. Nope, can't get it in time. And Satan able to get the kill through the window.
It does look as though they won it 2 seconds. Is that a...
That's a known bug.
That is a known bug. So it would have been a 1-second cap if he could have capped.
Sure.
That's a little fast for most league players.
Man, but I just imagine, you know, again, that was their weak point. All he had to do was get that kill, and he had that entry, and he got it, and he had it, but, you know, at 1-8, he had that minute shaved off. Imagine if there was an extra minute for him to work with. He could have potentially had 2 points in the bag, and could have been a ground branch lead 3-2. Instead, we are here, Supernatural, continuing to hold their lead on their map pick. And I mean, I don't know if you caught it, Anonymouse, but they said, I heard Ground Branch say, this is our worst map. You know, and so Supernatural picking into the worst of Ground Branch, and I gotta wonder what we're gonna see in round 2 from the GB squad.
Yeah, Ground Branch is gonna get map 2 pick, and if they're not very good at downfall, they're probably gonna pick a shorter range map, which Deadshot Sniper isn't gonna work very well on. So that will definitely be interesting for a shorter range map.
It's seen some good plays, though. I mean, honestly, you know, they're the Ground Branch squad is a new team to Season 10. They are bronze in the rankings right now, and they're going up against Supernatural in their third match. I think so I guess obviously fresh out of placements, but yeah, it's interesting to see, you know, to say the least. These two teams have been having good battles back and forth. GB had a great defensive round last time. We'll see if they can put up another good defensive round here as we dive into round number 5 of map number 1. If you're just tuning in, you haven't missed too much. Supernatural taking 3, Ground Branch taking 1. We're still here on the first map of the series.
Do you have a name for this building?
Which one?
The one that the objective is in.
Oh. My names are so old. That would be for me, that would be Volk Spawn building, but that's a very old call out. I don't know what the new one would be.
I don't think I was playing when that was the call out, but I think most teams now call it 2-story helicopter.
Yeah, something around the helicopter.
Like
helicopter nose, or helicopter tail, I guess. Yeah, I've heard helicopter being the focal of that building's call out there for sure. But I'm more interested in the forward positions here picked up by Little Sayonara. He's shown us that his positioning has certainly paid off. And if he looks to his right now, he could pick an angle onto Crowley. But he is proning his way up here to a wall that is going to be pretty... I don't think anyone from Supernatural is going to be ready for someone to be this far pushed up.
This is definitely a far push. If Epino rotates out a little bit more, then Sayonara will most likely be able to get that kill.
And
It
again,
does look like there was a laser onto a Pino, but I don't know where that came
yeah, you're
from.
right. I think that was coming from maybe Legend or JRN1 in the back 2 story there. Here comes that rotation
Yeah,
you're talking about, though.
We do have two more sniper positions. Legend X could turn into a shorter range player though. JRN1 is a little bit further back, so he'll probably be getting some more long range shots this round.
Pino has managed to dodge the eye of Little Sayonara for now and worked his way up the center of the map. Deadshot rotating around to the north, and they have a couple that have managed to get set up over here. Deadshot now getting up into the 2-story, not taking rounds. Definitely got detected, though. You saw a laser track him there. And then you have Ollie Brox in the 2-story, in the 2nd floor, excuse me, of that North Hotel.
Yeah, so it does look as though they're trying to get a more spread out offense.
Yeah, they're going for that crescent approach around the OBJ. Going to hit it from all sides, and it could work out. It's going to be interesting to see how this Ground Branch team reacts to this sort of offensive push, and if their defensive positions are set up well enough to sort of prevent all the different angles. Already, losing Melted Teeth is not optimal. He's a very key position inside that crater for this objective.
Somebody can cure him, please?
It does look as though JRN1 sees Deadshot, or at least knows where his position is. There were a few bullets coming at Deadshot. I think they all hit a little bit low.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to expose ourselves, Steve. We can't risk it. Call out
Deadshot
if you see him.
is with his 12x, so he should be able to get some more long-range shots.
JRN1 spots that rotation, but again misses the shots there on the Deadshot rotating in. Apino picking up Legend in the 2-story, and all of these positions from defense are getting slowly shut down. Now GB is left with only 2 defenders, JRN1 and Ollie, and both of them have terrible vision onto OBJ. Deadshot could walk right up to it right now.
This is definitely an easier to cap objective. Ollie Howden just missed Deadshot's rotation. Deadshot is going in for the cap. It's going to be very hard to shut down. And there goes Supernatural with the 5-1 win.
You know, a very solid, obviously, start for Supernatural here on their map pick. But again, Ground Branch battled it back relatively well. You know, Deadshot 10-2 there with the sniper. This whole map's centered around him sniping, you know? And we talked about this in the pre-show. What happens now, right? Because now all the range is gone. There's nothing left. All we have is Cargo, Suburbia, and Tank. No, what is it? Bazaar on the field here. So Deadshot is not going to find any more sniping opportunities available to him in the rest of this series. And I gotta wonder if that's going to hurt Supernatural enough where Ground Branch can sort of bounce back, because again they had a 5 left alive defensive round on Downfall to get their 1-round win. It looked very clean.
This is going to be definitely going to be interesting with all the shorter range maps coming out now. Cargo is definitely the shortest range.
I also wonder if maybe we're going to see any subs coming from either one of the squads. Just now looking at Ground Branch's roster, which is all 5 in. I'm not seeing any swaps here, but over on Supernatural there are 2 available positions, so I got to wonder if they are going to be bringing in any additional. They're going to be swapping in any players here, sort of hopefully bounce back, shift the momentum back into their favor, because well, I guess no, they already have. Well, yeah, why would they sub? They just won that round 5-1. Be interesting to see.
lots of teams do sub just to make sure that everyone that wants to play each map can play
True.
each map, so.
True, but don't you sort of save that for map 3? You know, you lock down map 2 after you've just done great on Downfall, which I guess is going to be Cargo. You haven't said that yet. But you lock down map 2, and then you can bring your sub in for map 3. If you bring him in now and lose, then you're going to go to that series decider, and the pressure is on, you know? Either way, Cargo is going to be an exciting one to watch between both of these squads, and again, I'm very interested to see how GB tackles Cargo. They looked aggressive on their offensive pushes on Downfall. You know, they didn't look to be wanting to linger. They didn't look to be sort of getting those long-range shots or looking for the picks. They were definitely trying to push and move forward. And so if that's going to be their style here on Cargo, it's going to be fun to watch.
Being aggressive on Cargo for some teams works very well, but lots of times it can bite you.
Yep.
When you push up a little too fast and don't realize that you're surrounded. So let's just hope that Ground Branch plays it as fast as they can, but doesn't play too fast.
Yeah, you gotta wonder. I mean, I know, but I'm interested to see if Supernatural are going to be ready for that at all, because that's really what that aggression does. Is it catches some teams off guard. You know, they're not ready for that quick of a push or that forward of a move. And I wonder if Supernatural, after winning so handily on Downfall, are just going to be maybe coming in this one a little too loose and ultimately, you know, potentially get caught with their pants down. We'll see. As again, we just wait for the rosters to fill. I think we will. Well, Anonymouse, what do you think? Cut to a brief intermission or wait it out? There's only one more person to join for Supernatural.
I don't know. You can make that call.
All right, the tough decision comes down to me. We'll cut to a very brief intermission before we dive back in to map number 2. Don't go anywhere. This is Supernatural versus Ground Branch. Welcome back, everybody. This is map 2 of Supernatural versus Ground Branch. Ground Branch's map pick here is going to be Cargo for map number 2. They had a rough go on Downfall with losing it 5-1. Supernatural really doing great, and Deadshot excelling with the sniper. And now we're going to go to a very different sort of map. Close quarters here, and already a trade out in the open. No smokes, obviously, as a reminder for 1-8. And so things are a lot different here as we get a lot of shots coming in. Deadshot finding a kill, and Crowley picking up a res. So a 5v3 now for Supernatural.
Yeah, Crowley got that res onto Pino, who traded. So Crowley is now trying to send some pre-fire down the tunnel.
Him and Melted Tea exchanging words with bullets.
Looks like a pretty standard defense for this. Other than there's no one in the little area behind the objective. Only Deadshot is over there. I normally like to see 2 people more by the objective.
Satan here watching the angle. Calls out Ollie and drops off of it right as Ollie peeks it. Actually picks up Legend, so he wasn't calling out Ollie, he was calling out Legend. And now he does swing, picks up Ollie for the double. Only one
5v1
left alive. Yeah, not looking good for Melted Tea. Well, there's one. Gets 2, but the trade comes in and being able to snap up and get his rifle out in time. Supernatural defends round 1 and continues to hold the lead for map 2.
Yeah, so that was definitely a very quick round. Supernatural took that one pretty quickly.
I think, one thing that stood out to me right away there is that GB just not using a lot of utility. This is a map that is going to heavily favor that flash play that we talked about in the pre-show. And I don't think we saw any flashes or any sort of nades come out there from GB. They're really relying on their gun angles, which, against a team like Supernatural might not work out for you every time. Supernatural they're good players. Deadshot is a great shot. And so if you challenge those players with a 1v1 into a rifle battle, it's going to be a little bit harder than if you had that utility out to flash and sort of disorient.
As you were saying, yeah, the flash plays are definitely very, very strong on Cargo. Just the small map, easy to grab, lots of people with flashes. We are going into round 2.
See how Ground Branch defends this time around as we get into that second round, and I'm curious to see if they're going to lose any here on the cross. Pre-fire comes out, but no one goes down. And it's interesting to see. I'll keep that thought to myself because the push is coming in quick and fast. Legend goes down. Sayonara picks up 1. Deadshot scoops up a second. Picks up a double. Objective is open for Cap. Supernatural could push this one up 3-0 right now. They're doing just that. JRN1 and Little Sayonara not reacting quick enough. And a very quick code from Deadshot gets them 2.
JRN1 was just about to rotate back over towards the objective, but not fast enough. Deadshot did get that code in very quickly.
I mean, that was your textbook 4-second punch in right there. That's what you expect out of a dude that's put in a lot of hours into the game. And Supernatural here, they're giving Ground Branch their first sort of run for the money that they've had this time since their time in the VRML. I was looking at their score line, and the last the first two series they've played, they've done very well. They've won with commanding leads, and here Supernatural, they're going up against a team, I mean, that is 20 ranks higher than them. But still, they are it's not an easy opponent here, and Supernatural are showing their sort of expertise even on that aggressive push. You know, we're expecting Ground Branch to maybe show the aggression here, but Supernatural to come out with that sort of hard kind of push, and Deadshot to snag 2 like that out the gate. Very impressive moves for him, and to then get that final cap in such a quick succession. A very solid maneuver from Supernatural. And I mean, if you're Ground Branch, what do? You know, you got to bounce back now on a Marsoc round, so it's the hardest challenge ahead of you.
Ground Branch has to get this round, or else Supernatural takes map 2 and takes the series. So it's definitely a lot of pressure on them for this round. And as you were saying that, 20 ranks above them. 20 ranks is a lot of time, a lot of effort.
Yeah, it's a big separation, and I think it is separated like that because I only see 2 maps played here, so I think this is still a placement match for them. But they already have their... Yeah, this is a placement match. Okay, that makes sense. So they are a bronze rank, but this is their placement match, so they won their first 2. And so now they get a challenge, right? And now they're seeing, okay, this is what a little bit higher up in the rank looks like. This is what these teams are capable of. You know, they're kind of getting a bit of maybe a wake-up call to them as a team that, you know, there are definitely skill thresholds between ranks, and as you start to climb things, these players get better and better.
There are definitely lots of skill differences between the different ranks.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of almost tiered, you know, appropriately so, I would say, through the coloring of stars. Really, once you get past gold, things get wild. You know, it's a change from bronze to silver. It's a change from silver to gold. It's a change from gold to diamond. It's a change from diamond to master. As you go up each time, there's, you know, teams in those rankings that are just at a different skill level than the squads that you'd played before, and I think that's what's fun about the whole thing, right? Is there's a ladder to climb if you're new to the league, and I think Ground Branch seeing that ladder ahead of them. I'm interested to watch this team develop over the course of the season.
Yeah, definitely.
'Cause I mean, again, we got to think back. We got to remember they're a new team, and to take a round off of Supernatural like they did on Downfall, it was very clean. They demonstrated that they can hold solid defensive setups. Like they are obviously practiced, so they're showing some impressive plays today for sure, despite the scoreline heavily favoring Supernatural. And I'm not sure what the holdup is here. I haven't realized we've been buying time for so long. It's definitely past a minute and a half between rounds, but hopefully we get into that potentially map decider here soon.
Yeah, it does look as though some of them on Supernatural have not readied up.
Interesting. Maybe a bit of a technical hiccup there. Not sure what the situation is, but either way, do appreciate you all tuning in today. And again, as a reminder, that multi-stream about to be live. So as this series essentially comes to a conclusion, we'll still play the third map out. Make sure to fire up that multi-stream and be tuning in to the Radar Head and Theta cast that's coming at you in 3 minutes.
There goes the start of this round. Everyone did ready up eventually, so.
Ground Branch on their last leg as they charge forward with a pistol round. They have definitely resigned to their fate here. I don't know what they're doing.
Oh.
A little bit of tomfoolery.
A knife comes out. Deadshot gets the knife. Now it is 5v1. Ooh, Ipino knifes Ollie Howden as he goes for the truce.
Supernatural taking an easy round W. Interesting to see GB sort of forfeit that. And now we have our third map picked by the likes of Supernatural. And again, the map pool limited. I don't know. Maybe we could go back to cargo if they decide to, but I don't think that's something that's in the rules. So I think we got to go to one of the other available maps.
Wrote the teams in wrong.
Got to update the score line here.
They're starting real quick. They're already going into round 1 of map 3.
I don't know if this is allowed.
Do not think that you are allowed to play the same map twice, but
I don't know. I'm not sure what's happening here, but we'll be spectating it, I suppose. No, it looks like they all want to sort of horse around.
Oh, look at Apino getting everyone. That was beautiful.
I'm not too personally, I don't know what's happening down there. I don't know what they're saying, so I'm a bit hesitant to be down there with the cams, so we're just going to kind of hang out over in the corner while they sort of mess around. I can't speak for whatever's happening over there, but hopefully we get ourselves into the proper set of rounds, and we'll be underway soon enough.
Yeah, hopefully they start an actual round sooner rather than later. These last 2 rounds have been very interesting.
Yeah, and if they keep it up, I think we'll probably just sit on the scoreboard scene and let them sort of just toggle rounds up onto the scoreboard and finish off this. And again, I don't think this is legal, so I don't know what the repercussions are going to be for either one of these teams, but we'll see. And normally, again, it's a very odd choice, because this is, for a team like Ground Branch, this is really important. This is like very, very crucial rounds for them as a team. They're a new team to the league. They have to secure as many points as they can, especially in their placements. If they lose heavily in a third map to Supernatural, it is going to negatively affect where they get placed at the end of the day. So it's a really odd decision for this team to choose to do this when they're in a point where they've won 2 great series, and now you come to the third and they start to lose a little bit, and they sort of just give away rounds. So, again, interesting decision from Ground Branch, but again, there's other channels alive right now. I do recommend probably tuning into Master League 2, which we will be hosting as soon as this wraps up. And again, I don't know what's going to happen here, so if we do get a normal round, we'll spectate. If it's not, probably not going to be over into the action.
It does sound like they're going to go into a regular round this time.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm hearing call-outs and strats from Ground Branch. Maybe they're realizing the predicament they're in finally, the importance of these rounds. But either way, they are down 1 already. And Crowley coming out with a kill here. Nice pickup from JR Oman through the seams. Deadshot swings. Satan finds one. Pads out from Deadshot. He's punching in the code. A 2-point cap in a flash under the hands of Melted T.
That was very quick round. They did have their guns out, but it did look like they all just ran to the center, which was
an aggressive push there from Supernatural. And again, without smokes, what are your options, right? What else do you have to do there other than just challenge and come in from the middle? Obviously, like I said, flashbangs should be a prominent factor here, but they're just not getting utilized by either one of these squads on this final map, and it's really just coming down to gun battles on corners.
Yeah, that was very aggressive rush, but there is not much more you can do without smokes. the cargo is very open on a lot of its lanes. So
3-0 for Supernatural either way here on the third map, so a solid performance from them today. They are definitely, you know, showing their seniority at least in the league here by scooping up all 3 maps. Well, I guess I haven't scooped it up yet. They can it's still have a potential final round here, but the way that Ground Branch have been going about it, I see it favoring Supernatural.
Does anybody or have an extra nade or flash? Yes. Take my flashes. Thank you.
this is the same position that they were in last time when they decided to do a knife battle, but it does look as if they're gonna play this round out correctly.
Yeah, maybe they didn't realize the third map matters, and Supernatural explained it to them when they had the little powwow for that first round as they lost, because they definitely have adjusted themselves here. And a trade out the tunnel between Crowley and Sayonara, both resible, so Melty is going to scoop him up, and they're going to confirm Crowley.
There goes the confirm, so it is 4v4 as Deadshot gets a kill on JRN1.
I think JR tried to flash in there. Deadshot didn't get flashed, though, and had the angle.
Flashes are either get close enough to them or you're dead. So
Satan goes down in his forward position. Legend able to pick him up. We're into a 3v4. Ground Branch looking decent here on this push. As I say that, Brock's able to survive some shots and get his kill. Almost team kills Deadshot.
would be the 3rd team kill this match, this series, if that team kill did come out, but did not, so.
Trade there between Legend, a 2v2 now, and Ollie's about to be walking into Apino's line of sight. He's not ready for it. Down he goes. Melted T is here on OBJ. He swung around. Deadshot. He's playing a bit of a ring around the rosy, but Apino's going to come to reinforce and gets the final kill. Supernatural locking in their third map and 4th round, coming out on top for the series.
There goes the series over to Supernatural. There were a few odd rounds in there.
Either way, a solid series to tune into today. You know, it was fun to watch those first 2 rounds, and Ground Branch certainly coming into Downfall, you know, and again, looking good, really. You know, they had good attempts despite it being their worst map. But then on Cargo, I don't know if it was the momentum just so heavily favoring Supernatural or what, but they clearly proved that they are better at the aggression in close quarters there, because the double kill from Deadshot to the cap to put them up 3-0, then to round it off 4-0, and then the odd 3rd map pick. I don't know, again, how that's going to get ruled out, but Supernatural take it 4-0 either way, and just, again, a solid performance from Supernatural today, and I guess really good timing, because now it leads us right into our next series of the afternoon for EU, cast by Radarhead and Theta, so we're going to just keep the action flowing here and end up hosting that. But any final thoughts here, Anonymouse, on our matchup for today?
Yeah, so obviously Supernatural did very well. Deadshot was a deadly shot with the sniper on Downfall. We only did get to play 2 different maps, because obviously we repeated Cargo, and Cargo, there was a lot of action very quickly. It was two very quick maps, so
Yep. 2 quick maps out of the way, and again, we're going to be tossing the host over to Master League 2, so just hang around here. But quick shout out to everyone that has tuned into chat. I saw a lot of new faces that I am not familiar with. Maybe that's because I don't cast EU matches. Cough, cough. But great to see everyone in here hanging out. Very happy that I could tune into this afternoon match. It was a quick one, and it was fun to stop in and see what Ground Branch are made of. Again, a team I think we're going to have to follow, because I think they're going to learn from this series and, you know, evolve as they start to grow and face off more competitive teams. So a fun bout either way, and it's going to be it from us here at the desk. A quick shout out to our sponsors: VRML Cover, ProTube, Fix Gaming, Cyber Shoes, Rebuff Reality, and B Haptics. We do appreciate our sponsors that throw in prizes to help power the league, and also obviously that prize money getting put in for Season 10. Lots to compete for here. And obviously lots more games to come this week. We got plenty of action the weekend and more games coming at you in just a few minutes. So don't go anywhere. That's been it from us. My name's NightFiree with 2 E's. My co-caster, Anonymouse. We will see you all this weekend.
See you all